please feel free to take yourself off mute and ask a pātai or share your whakaaro if you'd like to.
Hey, Julie, we've, for the past few years, we've recommended to frontline staff, because we do a lot of training with frontline staff. We've recommended looking at this model and using it as a useful tool. How do we find out more and regular updated information about the tool and how it's working?
And how are your staff doing the training, Alan?
Child Matters do national training around child abuse and family violence. So we go around the country training to a whole raft of different frontline workers and give them ideas of where they can find good tools that are worthwhile tapping into.
Yep. Cool, thank you. There's plenty of free things online on the Safe and Together website. You know, like there's great resources. There's a tool, how to be a safe ally to a person experiencing violence. There's one about how to how perpetrators manipulate systems and how to perpetrator-proof your system, which is really useful. But also on the Tautoko Mai website, we take training inquiries. There are webinars you can do. There's a whole raft of things on the Safe and Together website, but we prefer in-person training, so that's what we do. So the core training is 4 days, and
Cool.
We've been doing it around the country. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Julie, we just have another pātai in the chat from Prudence. Thanks, Prudence. What does it cost to get on and get accredited? Is it something Te Puna Aonui recommended to ensure contracts against Te Aorere Kura strategy?
Te Puna Aonui have been mapping the Safe and Together training, but they are shortly to publish a variety of trainings that are offered around the motu, and they will list which parts of the competency framework each training covers off. So what it's important to understand is that Te Puna Aonui are not saying that they endorse any particular training. They've told us that loud and clear, but what they've done is we've mapped it against that competency framework, and it'll be on their website what parts of that framework are covered off by all the different trainings that are offered. Does that answer your question?
Thanks, Prudence. And Nancy, I hope that also answers yours regarding cost and date to get accredited.
Oh, can I just say, to get accredited as a trainer, you have to be working with a partner agency. So Tautoko Mai and Christchurch Home and Family are the 2 agencies so far in New Zealand that are partner agencies. So if people want to do the training, they can do it through either of those organisations, or you then have to apply to become a trainer to get accredited. Yeah. But you get a certificate of that you've completed the Safe and Together approach if you do the training, but it's not accredited per se.
Sorry, just wondering, what's the name again of the organization in Christchurch, Julie?
Home and Family. We've got some core training coming up in Taupo and then in Greymouth, and we're planning another one in Hamilton shortly. So yeah, just get in touch with the providers and they'll tell you when they might have schedules on their websites. We haven't done that yet, so it's really just contacting us directly.
Cool. And just one question. When you mentioned about all the initiatives around the world, I noticed in the New Zealand map that it says North Island and South Island. Are there any examples of what's happening specifically in New Zealand, apart from agencies being accredited and providing this training?
Short answer, no, but I know that we've done some work with National Collective of Women's Refuges, and so we've done work with them around their documentation and shifting the way they do their child assessments as they come into refuges. And we're finding that every time we do training with organisations, we're then working with doing follow-up work to look at documentation and practice, and we do practice consults as well. We've started to develop that part of it because one of the things I didn't talk about was that there is a perpetrator mapping tool available. You get it if you do the core, and I think you can purchase it off the website now. It has a license, but yeah. So that's another tool that's available for use, and I've found that really useful in round case consults. You know, when there's complexity, there's domestic violence, there's substance abuse, mental health issues. I mean, cases get very difficult to kind of unravel, and it's a really useful tool for helping workers to think through the cases that they're working with.
I just wanted to stop by, Julie, and say thanks. I've heard about Safe and Together lots of times. I've never managed to quite catch a workshop, but I have heard feedback. It's really useful the way you've nutshelled it for us. Thank you for that, and getting the information out more broadly. I think about the overlap with not just family violence, but also with sexual violence. There's a lot of relevance there and context, and we really often have parents who are non-offending parents blamed for the behaviour of the offending party, and even just in social commentary, the belief that, you know, they must have known, why did they not protect their child, which is just a real misunderstanding of how grooming and sexual violence actually gets to go on. So good to think through some of these concepts, really. Appreciate it. Thank you for offering it.
Thanks, Maggie.
And on that note, really appreciate that, Maggie, because I'd like to offer another thanks, Julie, to you and to everyone who's joined us here today. If you do have any last minute questions that you want to pop in the chat, Julie has been happy to answer those afterwards, and we can pop them alongside the resources that we will share out on our resource library on our new website. So Julie, thanks again to you for offering such insight, and also I think for those of us who are not working perhaps specifically in the domestic violence area, to just remind us about the more lenses we have, the better vision that we have, and so to be able to add this to our lenses is wonderful. So thanks, Julie, for that.